What were you doing in the 1993 flood, and how did the flood affect you personally?
Well, I was here in Des Moines, living in Des Moines, working at Des Moines Waterworks. From a personal perspective, like my home and my belongings were not really affected, but obviously the waterworks flooded, and so I spent 12 hours a day, 7 days a week here that whole summer recovering the water treatment plant from flooding.
How natural were these disasters? Basically, was there anything that could have been done to prevent the floods, or the impact of the floods from just any organization?
I don't think there was anything near term that could have been done. I mean, the magnitude of the rain was so high, and I think it's things that have happened in Iowa over the decades that contribute to the size of the floods that we see here. So I don't know that anything could have been done to prevent it at that time.
Do you feel that the areas of low income were affected more than areas with better income? Basically, did the storm disproportionately affect the poor in any kind of way, any kind of socioeconomic separation at all?
You know, I suppose that some of the areas closest to the river, in terms of neighborhoods and maybe lower value houses than some of the areas further from the river, but I don't have good information on that.
That's right. What was done after the 1993 flood to avoid future flooding?
Well, from the perspective of the waterworks, we raised the levee around our treatment plant, and the Corps of Engineers also came into Des Moines and raised all of the levees along the Raccoon River and the Des Moines River to try to prevent a flood of the same magnitude from causing the same kind of problems.
All right. Finally, is there anything that residents could do to prevent themselves from the impact of the disaster of a flood when it hits? Or do you have any advice for residents?
I don't know. Location, I guess, is the most important thing. Don't live in the floodplain. Don't live in the floodway. We still have a lot of homes in the Des Moines area that would be in danger potentially if there was another flood, because they're in an area that if a levee failed or a gate didn't get closed properly, they would flood.
Finally, just what was the dollar amount of disaster 1993 flood caused in Iowa? Or
Yeah, I know. Just guess it would have to be billions of